Okay, so just looking at a chicken, if you set it, with your legs up on the cutting board, little wings here, these are the breasts. Okay, this is what most people look for, is just the chicken breast. What to look for when you're breaking it down, we'll start with the legs and the thighs, okay, which have lots of really tasty meat on it. That's the dark meat. You can see right here where the division is between the breast and the leg, and you're just going to make a cut right along there. Okay, now what you'll see when you get in there is that really all that's holding it is skin. Okay, so you just want to kind of cut through the skin there, cut through the skin there, and then what you're going to want to do as you pull that apart, there's a joint right in here, and you can feel it. Okay, so you want to turn the chicken over, and you're just going to use your thumb. You can feel that joint right there. You're just going to pop it out of its joint. Okay, so you can see that exposed joint there, and you can see this natural line right here, and you're just going to cut right along that, right through the joint, and then you have a leg and thigh section. Okay, we'll just do the same thing on the other side. So you just find where that skin is, make a little incision right there so you can kind of see, tear it open, cut through the skin as you need to. Okay, pull that open until you can see that joint in there, and again, joint right here, joint right there. You're just going to put your thumb right on that joint, pop it out of joint, and you can see there it's popped out, and just again right along that line there. So you're just going to cut right through there. Okay, and that's our leg and thigh sections. We'll break those down more in just a moment. Okay, same thing with the wings. Okay, if you want to use the wings, if you want to have chicken wings, that's great. There's not a lot of meat on these, but it's basically the same process. Okay, you can see right here where the joint is. So you're just going to kind of cut through there, and then you're going to pop that out of its joint, and then just cut that right off. Okay, there's our wing section. And again, I'll show you how to break that down in just a sec. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Just cut right down to that joint, pop it out, and cut right through. So we'll set those aside. Okay, so now we've got our chicken breast. This is where it gets a little bit tricky, okay? There's a breastbone that runs right along here. So the first thing we're gonna do is just take and just draw a line right along that breastbone, okay? Cuts through the skin, and you can see that bone exposed right there. So what we wanna do, the way this works is, the bone right here where the wishbone is kind of flares out a little bit, and then back here on this side you've got just a little bit of a bone bringing it together. So I usually have the breast facing me, and then just draw another line down along one side of that breastbone. Okay, so you can cut in and see the meat. Now this is the tenderloin right here on the rib meat. We're still attached up at this end, so we're going to cut down far enough that we can just kind of separate through there and start seeing where we're going. So cut all the way down to the ribs. Once you feel your knife hit the rib cage, and you can see this flares out a little bit, you're just going to angle your knife and cut right down along that. You want to keep as much meat as possible. So if you just let your knife follow the ribs down, okay, what you'll end up with, and just cut all the way through, is a nice chicken breast with the skin on it. And if you want to pull the skin off, you can. Basically, you just grab a tab and pull on it, that skin comes right off. Okay, so now you have a boneless, skinless chicken breast, and then there's your tenderloin. Okay, if you want to make chicken tenders, that's what it comes from, and that will just really come right off. So there's a chicken tender, there's your chicken breast. For the 40 cloves of garlic, I recommend leaving those two together and the skin on. If you want to take the skin off, you can. The skin gets nice and crispy in that recipe though, so it's great. And then we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, right down until you feel it hit the ribs. We'll detach that section there, turn it around, and then again, this angles out. So we're just going to start angling that down, keeping as much meat on as we can. Just follow the rib cage down. And there we go. There's the chicken breast with the tenderloin still attached and the skin still on for the 40 cloves of garlic chicken. Now the carcass, I recommend saving the carcass. You can make stock out of that. But in the meantime, well, that'll be another lesson for a later time. So right now we've got the drumstick, which you can see here, and the thigh. Lots of meat on both. Now you can kind of see if you just set it there, where the drumstick has that nice little curvature right there. You're just going to kind of follow that around, okay? And then you're going to break through that joint, okay? And just cut right through. So now you've got a drumstick, plenty of meat on there, and your thigh. Now you've got the one bone. If you want to pull the bone out, you can. It's really easy. You can see both ends of it. You just kind of slide it out. But this is about as far as I would break it down for this particular recipe. So just cut down through there, pop that through, And there you go. So you've got your 2 drumsticks, you've got your 2 thighs, your breasts. If you want to break down the chicken wings, again, you can see the drumstick here, and this is all that's holding it on is the skin, so you can just cut right through that skin. See that joint? Again, pop it out of the joint, and then cut right through. So there's your drumstick section of your wing, and then you've got these last 2. You can see the joint right there, and really all you got to do on this one is just kind of cut down into that joint where you can see it, and then cut through. So there's your wing section, there's your drum section. We'll do the same thing over here. Save that little wing tip for stock. Again, cut through, pop it out of the joint, cut through, and then the same thing over here. Just kind of cut so you can see where that joint is, pop it out, get that knife in there, cut through, and there you go. So there's a whole chicken broken down. Savor the day.